Imagine a room full of continent-level managers discussing the next expansion, all adding valuable inputs, but with no actionable resolutions. This episode is going to make sure that never happens to you ever again. Get ready to master category management with strategies to boost your team's performance. Welcome to Product Team Success. I'm Ross Webb, and this episode is brought to you in partnership with Amplitude, the best product analytics software I've ever used. Now, get ready to be inspired by Ralf Maurer, who knows that category excellence is a journey, not a destination. If you're in product management, you might not know exactly what category management is, but it exists at the intersection of product, data, and team management. And coming up in this episode, the CPO's impact, what it really is, how to master collaboration and execution in product, why diverse perspectives are so important, expert team building secrets you really need to know, and effective coordination to help speed up your career growth. DIY data analysis for the rest of us. Ralf, I'm excited to dive into how category management impacts product management. But first, could you briefly touch on your career journey that you've led?
Yeah, great. And of course, you're right. Category management is really my passion. But for some reasons, I think we will come to this later. And my last very, very long time was in automotive aftermarket, so European-wide responsibilities. So customers across Europe, big customers across Europe. And this is my last challenge.
Could you expand on understanding the difference between category management and purchasing or pricing and procurement? Like, where does it all fit together?
One of the challenges of category management, what is in and what is out of category management? My answer would be purchasing should be a part of category management, and very important one, because it starts with the supplier, it starts with the product, but it should not end. It should not end with the product. I think this is the big difference between the purchasing part, even in distribution and retail, because your suppliers have their own strategy, have their own agenda. They want just to make you sell the products, but your job is not to please the supplier. Your job, or my job, was to please our customers and to make really a big difference to our competitors and to delight the customer by selecting the right products. And then it comes, of course, to purchasing, because if you, in theory, create a great assortment with poor purchasing prices, you will have poor selling prices or a poor margin. Both is really bad, right? And that means you need a strong purchasing power to execute your category strategy. And I think this is sometimes a little bit the misuse what we see.
Clearly, there's a need to balance price, value, and customer needs. But there's also the fact of category managers in product insights or product specialists in category management. How do you build a team around this and the use of data? And what are the challenges that you've experienced in this space that some people could find really confusing?
What I've realized when I met different teams, and it's currently when I'm talking to my current clients, the category managers are very familiar with product. I would say for many good reasons, it's great to have product specialists on this side. And this is what I have seen. People who knows the product by heart, who knows the supplier by heart, who knows the specification. And this is the fundament, because without knowing your product, all customer insights is a little bit worthless. But and this is why I'm saying a little bit the other way around, product specialists you will find a lot of product specialists in category management and in purchasing. But then it becomes the challenge if you ask them for data. Because many product specialists I have seen, they don't like so much to deep into the database and to analyze sales and customer data, right? And here my advice is much more to bring different specialists together. I think you have to create a team, because you won't find people who are brilliant in everything. You won't find people who are brilliant in, let's say, when we talk in my business about the specification of valves, and to be brilliant in Excel spreadsheets. It does not work. What is important then to bring them together and here to speak the same languages so that the product specialist does understand what the data guy is doing and vice versa. And that I think this is from my point of view the most important, orchestrating a team. And then if I give an advice to category managers how to develop your own experience, I think it would be great a little bit to step outside your comfort zone. And the comfort zone is, from my experience, always everything, including the product and the suppliers. So step outside and go, for example, into a sales team for some years. This changing the perspectives gives you makes a big difference with you. You will never forget when you was sitting on the other side of the table. You will never forget how a customer really thinks when he is talking about a purchasing guy. This makes, from my point of view, a good development of a category manager. And then, of course, thirdly, don't be afraid of data. You should not become the data specialist. Again, in my team, I have developed 5-6 people who were just doing the data analysis and help them to bring the knowledge or the results, to explain the results to the category managers. But you should be good enough to understand the data and to see a little bit, I call it to understand the unexpected results and not to stop with the obvious results.
In my experience, a majority of product managers are intimidated when it comes to analyzing data, and so become reliant on data scientists or analysts. I don't think product managers need understanding to the level of being a data scientist, but they should self-serve data and be able to do basic analyses. What are your thoughts on this?
I fully agree to this, Russ. And I think it's so much important that he is able, when you see the spreadsheet, when you see data, you as the product specialist you should be able to ask questions that the data guy probably cannot do because he does not know the market, he does not know customers, he does not know the product. So I think this is the combination you have to bring together. But indeed, as you mentioned, you need more than basics understanding of using data. Yeah. And then you have specialists who bring the data to you. But reading the data, I call it reading the data and reading a little bit between the lines. That's so important. I have seen, I would say, what is the difference between an okay category management and an excellence category management? It is not to stop with the obvious data. So what we see is obvious is what the customer is buying. What I'm looking for as a customer-centric category managing, I am looking for why is the customer buying this product, when, and especially why. This is what you need to understand. And here, the combination of both people are so important.
Data and understanding are key to a PM's success. How do you tackle organizational challenges like aligning regions or managing diverse priorities as a CPO?
And I think why CPOs, from my experience, should become need to be great communicators. You have to define the level of centralization, the degree of decentralization. And my experience was there is always, it is really challenging for CPOs to define or to find out what is a real argument and what is, I call a little bit the shadow argument. What do I mean? The real argument is when you should not ignore because the market in France is different than in Norway. So there could be, for some reasons, for some technical behavior, whatever reasons, you should not ignore and you should localize. But many, many, many other arguments are just shadow arguments, and you should not ignore, but you should convince them, no, you are not right. This is just, you are just afraid of changing. So when we talk about category management excellence, I would call you cannot do it without change management. It won't happen. It won't happen at once. It won't happen in a day. It's really a huge transformation process with a lot of strategy behind, a lot of organizational behind, and a lot of execution. So you need to understand the detail as a CPO as well.
Now, expanding on this previous point, can you share your suggestions for achieving successful transformation at a senior level and getting the most out of your teams?
I think the most important is really to find alignment between all your colleagues, so that you have a clear vision and a common idea. Or say it a little bit, a common idea where we want to go. So that exactly, but not on PowerPoint, but in real, right? I have seen so many PowerPoint presentations where everybody agreed to, but when it comes to reality, when it comes to the true decision, no, please, not for me, not for you. So this is, I think, the most important alignment. And what my advice to these kind of management teams is really take your time and start struggling internally. The worst what can happen is that you will have a lot of lip service in the room. Everybody is going outside and said, no, we don't do it the other way around. So it is tough and it is hard. And for the CPO, it is really a challenging role. You should fight with your people in a very constructive way, with your colleagues, to come to real alignment and then sign it and say, we have agreed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many dots, and then start executing it. And then secondly, what you need, from my point of view, in bigger organizations need to do, exchange people. So bring France people into group, bring group people into Germany, and so first, change the role that you have. You should not have in the center theoretical guys who have never seen a customer, who have never seen a supplier, so because you're losing all your support. But on the other hand, in the countries, it is so eye-opening if you have a group managers managing your category with another perspective, because he knows how France, Germany, Norway, Scandinavia or Poland are working, and brings a lot of new different areas into it. So first, exchange between countries and group, and then secondly, exchange sales, marketing, and category managers, so that they create a kind of a different perspective, that this helps in the organization, that everybody is understanding the role of his colleague much better. And thirdly, as the CPO itself, you have to build a brilliant team with a specialist, product specialist, data specialist, and then let's talk about this customer insight specialist. And then to orchestrate these guys, because this brings you the highest value. If you are able to, from my point of view, to orchestrate these specialists together and to develop them and train them into their different areas. These are the three main challenges I would develop, and this is my advice.
Ralf, you've emphasized the interconnectedness of the three components. And as we conclude, could you share your insights on maximizing the value of data in these partnerships between all of them?
Because the data management can be done for different categories. So, but you need, what I'm saying is, you need the specialists to bring really great data to the surface, and then to train your category managers to work with this data. I think this is the most important. At the beginning, everybody is a little bit afraid. Oh no, yes, I know it. And this is, from my point of view, what is important at the role of the CPO, and even let's say one level down for a category manager. If you are the owner of one category, you have to do the same for your categories. The role is then to orchestrate this kind of teams, and then bring the marketing guys into it, and bring real customer insights into your data.
I really hope you've enjoyed that. And you can connect more with Ralf on LinkedIn for more insights into category management. You'll be really glad you did. Now, don't miss the episode up here with Anna, where she shared how she teaches her product teams to grow wings and take flight. It's a game changer for the industry, and I loved it. And in closing, a special thanks to you for watching and for Amplitude for their invaluable partnership in producing this series. Bye for now.